Yo, what is going on, guys? Got an absolutely hilarious story for you here today titled Wife Demands an Open Relationship from Simp Husband Only to Get Immediately Replaced. I love seeing stories like this where modern women, they overestimate their own value in a man's life. They completely disrespect the man. And then the man turns around and says, you know what? I'm just going to replace your ass, okay? I'm going to find somebody who actually respects me, who is pleasant to be around, who brings me peace. And then oftentimes, guys, these original women, the original wives, the original girlfriends, boy, are they not happy about it. So before we jump into this one, do not forget to subscribe, guys. Do not forget to like the video. For every new sub and like on this video, there will be one more woman out there in the world who immediately gets replaced after disrespecting her husband. So let's jump into this story here. This story is told from the perspective of a 34-year-old man whose 32-year-old wife made a life-altering request that she thought he would accept without resistance. He says, I'm 34 and she's 32. We were married for 7 years. We were together for 10 years. I was her rock. I was emotionally supportive. I was financially stable. And I never once gave her a reason to doubt me. That may sound noble, but looking back, I realized that I was a full-blown simp. She always was the center of our world, and I never questioned her lead until the day she decided to change the rules. Okay, so this is the typical situation where the husband's paying all the bills, and, the woman still assumes the leadership role, by the way, right? So she wants him to do all of the back-end work, right? She wants him to do all of the traditional things, but she wants to run the ship. Okay, and women who want to run the ship, for lack of better words, are just complete headaches, guys. They really are. Oftentimes, these women have no respect for their husbands, and they use these dudes as like their personal ATMs, right? They use these dudes as their personal wallets. It's really insulting. So it happened on a random Thursday night, he says. I came home from work, groceries in one hand, Thai takeout in the other. She was already home, dressed more provocatively than usual, lounging on the couch like she was gearing up for a photo shoot, and she said, "Can we talk?" Now, every man knows that those three words never mean anything good, but I sat down anyway, ready to listen like always. She says, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I believe we have outgrown monogamy. I want us to consider opening our relationship. He says he froze, and at first he thought it was a joke. We had no fights, no signs of boredom, no emotional distance, at least not what I saw, and she looked dead serious. She said, I love you, but I want more experiences and freedom. This doesn't mean that I don't care about you. So here's the thing about these dudes, man, is like you will have these men who have been married for very long periods of time, but the thing is they think everything is normal. They're like, oh, she hasn't been emotionally distant. Things always seemed fine. There was no signs of boredom. But truthfully, these men oftentimes have no idea what they're looking for, man. Like, oh, you'll get stories like this where the dude will say, yeah, I didn't see any red flags, okay? But then the woman refused to ever speak about her past with other dudes, right? She refused to give you any information. And it's like, these men wouldn't know a red flag if it kicked them square in the region. They would have absolutely no idea, okay? Oh, I thought everything was fine. There were no signs of this. There were no signs of that. The signs were there, okay? But for you to notice them, she would actually have to slap you in the face with them. You see what I'm saying? Like the men are just completely oblivious to this crap, guys, because oftentimes they don't want to look. They don't want to realize that anything is wrong. They would just rather believe that everything is fine. So she thought that I would just nod along. She continued as if she'd rehearsed it all, which she had, by the way, said it was normal now that that tons of couples do it. Right, okay. But the kicker, she had someone in mind already, a co-worker, classic. She claimed it was just flirtation, but maybe more if you're okay with it. I remember sitting there in silence, thinking about the years I'd spent building a life with her, the trips, the anniversaries, the fact that I had turned down advances out of respect for our vows, while she was scheming on how to get my permission to cheat. So first of all, absolutely crazy, right? This is the demonstration. This is the proof in the pudding, okay? Insofar as how little respect this woman has for the guy. Because she, not only, right, because whenever women pitch this, please understand they always have a dude in mind already by the time they pitch it, okay? But typically women won't actually tell you that. So for this woman in this situation to actually tell her husband, she has to think this dude is like the epitome of a simp. She really does. She must have, she must have such a low opinion of this guy to actually have the balls to come out here and say, listen, I already have a guy in mind. This is his name. He's my coworker. Like, the audacity for the woman to do that is absolutely insane. And women typically do this stuff, guys, when they think that you are someone who doesn't respect himself whatsoever. Let's continue. He says, I stood up and said, you've clearly already made up your mind, so here's mine. If you want an open relationship, fine, it's open. You're out. She laughed. She thought I was bluffing. Don't be dramatic, she said, but I wasn't. I walked out to our bedroom, packed a duffel bag, grabbed my laptop, and left for my brother's house, and the next morning I called a lawyer. Excellent. So this guy, not a simp, it seems, right? He's, a lot of dudes, the guys who are weak-willed, who don't actually respect themselves, who have no personal boundaries, they'll put up with stuff like this. So it's always good to see a dude say, no, you know what? Instantly put the foot down, kick her out. I think this is the appropriate response, personally. She was stunned when the divorce papers arrived. She tried calling me dozens of times. She left long, teary voicemails. Hilarious. She said she didn't think I would actually leave. Of course she didn't. She thought she had a simp on her hands, someone too weak to walk away. She underestimated me, and that's the part that still burns the most. She thought that I would grovel and beg and trying to negotiate my dignity for scraps of affection. So I'm glad that this dude didn't do that. I really am. 6 months later, I was in the best shape of my life. I got back into the hobbies I had neglected. I reconnected with my friends. I met somebody new. And this woman did not play any games. My ex, I heard from mutual friends that things didn't go how she expected. The co-worker ghosted her after a few hookups. She tried dating, but quickly realized that most men weren't interested in serious relationships with a woman who openly dismantled her marriage for attention. Ooh, that is a rough one. I always find it funny, man, when the women, they go back out there into the dating market and they're like, wait a minute, what do you mean men don't want me, but I'm such a great catch? Meanwhile, they were women who absolutely sabotaged their previous marriages. It's really funny to think about. A year later, she sent me an email. She apologized. She said that she didn't realize what she had, etc. But he said he didn't respond. He said that she no longer existed in his world. She made her choice, and I finally had the self-respect to make mine. So just by the way, I want to really stress that this woman was actively cheating on this guy. He might not have noticed. He might not have understood what was going on at the time. But again, by the time women bring this crap up to you, they're already talking with and hooking up with some other guy by the time this happens. He says, men, if she loves you, apparently, but wants to explore, she doesn't love you. She loves your stability while craving the chaos. The second you let somebody else into the relationship, you're no longer in one. You teach people how to treat you. The old me taught her that I would tolerate anything, and the new me walked away without a backwards glance. So here's the thing, by the way. So this guy says here, the second you let someone else into the relationship, you're no longer in one. I think this is slightly off. I think it is the second that the woman requests that the relationship be opened in the first place, that's when the relationship is already over, okay? You don't have to let some other dude into the relationship before the relationship is already over. It's just already over the moment she asks. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.